Ben, your boy's back. Conor McGregor is back to pulling the strings on Michael Chandler. Geppetto. He's back to playing Geppetto, bro.
Oh my
You
God.
know who Geppetto is? Do you know who
Yes.
Geppetto is?
Yes,
You
the
got
character
children.
from
Pinocchio.
Pinocchio, thank you.
He's back to playing Geppetto with Michael Chandler. Bro, to the point that the other day I put out a video that said that Conor's laughing and acting like Dr. Evil when Dr. Evil would do this shit. And Mike commented. He went into the post and commented.
To you?
He commented on my post. It's like,
Oh,
come on, Ben. Ben, what do you make of it? I'm going to get the comment up. What do you make of it, Ben?
oh man. I I guess he's gonna fight. I mean, we always thought it was gonna happen. We talked about it last week where he was getting frustrated. Said they were giving him a fight, and I think it was probably the UFC saying like you have to fight Michael Chandler, and maybe you want to fight someone else. Um, I don't know. I guess I hope it happens at UFC 300.
No, it's not. It's
Oh,
happening
I'm
in
sorry.
International
June.
Fight
Yeah,
Week.
international fight. I'm sorry. So that's like probably UFC like 302 or 303. So I guess I'm glad it's just happening because it has taken forever.
Yeah. So here's what Mike wrote, bro. Here's what Mike wrote. He said, people will say he will do what he's told, but I was the one who originally asked for the higher weight class. I don't need to cut weight. Real fighters fight any weight. The weight is irrelevant. I'm fighting a man, not a weight class. Hey, well said. Michael Chandler will not say anything not well said. But, bro, you can't jump into this cesspool of the comments. You can't.
Yeah, that's weird. I don't know what he's doing.
Why? Do you think that the opinions are kind of getting to him like, damn, man? Because I'm of the belief that he needs to tell Conor to kind of kick rocks a little bit. And if you fight me, you fight me. If you don't, you don't.
Listen, we don't talk a ton anymore, but I did try to give him that advice a while ago.
Really?
Yeah, like, I mean, you gonna sit. I mean, Michael's not old. He's not as old as me. I think he's, say, 35 or 36. Like he's getting up there. So how long are you gonna sit and wait for this? Is it gonna be a year and a half, 2 years? Like,
Been a while.
it's been a while, and I would have said, so I think maybe it'll be like a year and a half. If they fight in June, it'll be a year and a half. I think I would have said something like, Conor, if Conor's not wanting to fight, I'll keep moving because I know he's pretending like he wants to fight, but he doesn't actually want to fight because the UFC's offered him 4 dates or whatever, and he said no to all of them. So if he doesn't want to fight, let me just move on. I'm not wasting my time with not serious people.
And I believe that he would have came around faster if he did that.
Yes.
I believe he would have came around faster if he did that. Like if he said, the hell with you, he'd have been like, man, I'm fighting this dude. Because can we agree, first off, in the cesspool of the comments, you don't do it because this is like one of the comments of this. Mike, from one Mike to another, he ain't fighting you, mate. Mike Wall said, anytime, any place, any weight. That was the second one. Mike, what an idiotic thing to say. He will fight him as it was announced yesterday. Mr. Brilliant, go watch soccer. And it's like, you'll do what you're told, Mike. You'll do what you're told. Cry, baby. Please be quiet. You'll do what you're told. It's like, you can't go into these comments. It's really as a cesspool. Special. I don't get why he did that, though. Because Mike is generally really, because he works in TV, so he's really good about accepting opinions and knowing that it ain't personal. Yeah. But I feel like this whole thing is weighing on him because this is a dude that loves to compete. Mike loves to fight, and he's just been having to wait on this dude. And now this dude's making videos where he is acting like a freaking supervillain, drinking champagne and doing this weird, honestly, awkward laugh.
Do you think it's like a done, like, I know Conor said it, but, the UFC didn't say it. So do you think it's like, this is just Conor being Conor, or you think this is it? He actually got offered this fight. He signed the paperwork. He sent it back, and he's making the announcement himself.
Well, first off, he said he was going to do it on January 1st. He did it on New Year's Eve, right? Yep. He did kind of plays by his own rules. And I think that's another thing, right? With Conor's power, it's all about power with this guy.
Yeah.
And I think you got to take that power away. Do you remember Habib left the press conference because Conor had made him late when everybody else just kind of sat and waited? Sat and waited. And it's just more of the mind games. And it feels like that's what he's doing to Mike. And it really does kind of drive me crazy because I know that Chandler doesn't need to do that to stay relevant in this game. And everybody loves Mike. He can fight anybody and people will tap into it.
Yeah, it'll be like a year. So I look back, it was November 12th, 2022 was his last fight. So if they fight at the end of June, that's gonna be like a year and 8 months. So a little over a year and a
Yeah.
half. That's a long time to wait. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess it probably is gonna be a good payday. And it probably will be a huge fight. If it happens, this is still if it happens.
It's still if.
If it's still if. There's no guarantee.
Hey, Ben, but like, then there's another thing, right? It's a huge payday, right? It's a huge payday if he gets a portion of the pay-per-views. If
Yeah.
he's just getting a base rate, he'll get that same base rate. I know as a fact that there are times when you fight a John Jones or a Conor McGregor, your fight purse doubles, right? To where it goes up as a base. But if you don't have pay-per-view, it doesn't make that much of a difference.
Man, you saw how much of a bonus they gave Nate, though, right? Nate made like 10x or something when he fought Conor the first time.
But Nate also fought him on 10 days notice.
That is true.
He fought him on like 10 days notice. He wasn't planning on fighting. They needed him to fight him.
Yeah.
And that was at the time where Conor was actually still winning fights.
And they probably thought Conor was going to kill him, most likely.
And Nate got his ass. Nate choked him out.
Yep.
It was crazy too. Hey, do you think that that's the best matchup for Conor McGregor though, Michael Chandler?
Well, we talked about this before, and we talked about the fact that Michael does allow himself to be hit. And Conor hits hard. So if he's able to connect, he could win, but I think it could very easily go the other direction. I was thinking, Michael, he lost 3 of his last 4, unfortunately, but even in those 3 of those 4, he has been in spots against Charles Oliveira. He was in a spot where he could win.
Could have won.
He had some great things against Justin Gaethje. He had a couple good spots against Dustin Poirier.
He did good. He did good against Dustin Poirier in the first round, but it seemed like he got tired. I think that's why he doesn't wrestle though, because if he wrestles too much, he gets
really tired.
He gets really tired, and he gets tired fast, and that's why Dustin submitted him down the line. I don't know, man. I just believe that Michael Chandler is a guy that's going to be around for a really long time. I don't think he
really. You think so? How long do you?
I mean, I'm talking about in regards to being
he's
around
37.
the UFC.
Oh, okay. He's 37.
I mean, going to the UFC, like he's going to be a broadcaster.
Oh,
he's going to be a commentator. He's not going anywhere. And I know that when you do what you did in fighting, and then you have that second career after, you don't need to really be desperate for anything. And I just feel like that it's a little bit desperate. Yeah, Luis is putting in the chat that Conor's responsible for the top 4 UFC pay-per-views in history. But again, you got to be on the pay-per-view side, getting money from all those pay-per-view buys. I mean, dude, 1.6 for Poirier, 1.6 for Diaz, 1.5 for Poirier 3, 1.3 for Cerrone. The first Diaz fight was 1.3. Dude, it's like crazy numbers. And I don't even see the Habib fight was 2.4 million.
Yeah, 2.4.
2.4 million for Habib. So that's a lot of money.
Yes.
That's a lot of money if he's on the pay-per-view side, because even at 1.3 million, you're making a ton of money. Ben, you said you asked Mike a while back. You kind of tried to give him that advice. How did he take that? What did he say? Like, how did he take that?
I should look back and see. I think he had his own idea of the way he wanted to handle it. He said, I appreciate the advice, but obviously he never took it, right? So I said, if you want advice, I know I'm not your advisor, but here you go. And that was the angle I would have taken. He said things are heating up, maybe December, but that didn't happen.
So it was you cold text this man giving him advice on Conor McGregor fight. He probably knew you were trying to get some information. He's like, oh, this dude in the media. He tried to get some information.
I'm not in the media. My buddy asked me to come on his podcast once in a while. That's the only media I do.
Ben, you're in the media. Hey, dude.
I'm not media. Don't call me
I'm
media.
telling you, we were up for Sports Podcast of the Year award. You're in the media, bro. You are in the media, my brother.
Well, I hope it actually happens. I hope we hear some. You know what would make me feel good is Dana White said it. That would make me
Yeah.
feel good. I would love to hear Dana White say, "Huge news! We got Conor McGregor, Michael Chandler, International Fight Week." That would be
You'd be
awesome.
done.
That'd
Then
be
you'd be
awesome.
happy.
Yeah,
You'd be happy.
I would feel way more secure about it. The fact that Connor's the only one that said it, that makes me feel still nervous about the fact that it's actually going to happen.
Yeah. Well, for the record, I believe that this time it's going to happen. Mike waited long enough, and he's about to get that payday that he wants so bad. I think that he's going to fight him. I think it's going to be International Fight Week, and I think it's going to be amazing because every time that dude fights, it's unbelievable how loud the arena gets.
Yeah, they're going to go at it.